Hi everyone, this is Anastasia here with my podcast Sex, Love and Spirituality. I believe that art is a very important part of our life and in some way it shapes our society. That's why I've invited today a successful artist, Sofia, so we can talk about art and its influence on our lives. Hello, Sofia.
Hello, thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
No, thank you for coming. Really excited to see you here. So, can you tell a couple of words about yourself, how you got into art, what inspired you to be an artist?
Well, it will be a very long conversation, but to make long story short, like I am Russian, originally Russian. The half of my life I've spent out of Russia, and now I'm living like 8 years in Serbia.
Mhm.
And actually, every country I was living in giving me like a lot of inspiration. So this is very important for the artist, I could say, to travel. And actually, I could say that I have like two lives. The one life is my everyday life, and the second life is some kind of my spiritual life where I'm creating something.
Yes, yes, that's why you see, as my podcast is called Sex, Love, and Spirituality. For me, spirituality is very important as well, and
Yeah.
I think art brings the best in us.
Mhm.
So, where do you find your everyday inspiration? What motivates you to be an artist?
Well, I could find everyday inspiration in everyday life, and I think this is very important to have inspiration in very simple stuff. Like, I don't know, like just going out to the market and buying some flowers just for my house and saying hey to my cat. And all this actually gives me not the inspiration, it gives me the like the feeling of something stable. And I think for every artist, very important to be stable because somehow it gives you opportunity to create. Without this is like impossible. I cannot imagine like when my life is falling to pieces, I'm in the mess, and I have inspiration. So this is not what I'm looking for. The most important just to settle down and I don't know, like wake up with a smile and just have normal everyday life. And actually, this is what is giving me inspiration every day.
Yes, yes, I agree with you. It's like Maslow's pyramid, right?
Exactly.
So you need to cover the basic needs to feel safe, and then you can
Absolutely. Absolutely.
more.
Mhm.
And as you said, buying flowers. I actually bought those flowers for you today.
Oh, thank you
Yes,
so much.
because it's your favorite color.
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, blue, blue.
Blue, and that's how we met through your Telegram channel.
Yeah.
And blue, yeah, and actually not only your art inspires me, but also your texts there. It's like a white poems for me when I read. It gets so deep. Like, are you a writer as well?
Yeah, I actually could say now that I'm a writer because I've published two books.
Wow,
And,
congratulations.
and the first one called Belgrade in Blue. So it's about like my favorite blue color and my favorite city in the world, Belgrade. And the second is about Balkans. So it's called 30 Pictures of Hell. And I could say that I'm a writer because now I'm like translated, I don't know, at least like 10, 12 languages.
Amazing.
And yeah, and like my poems are translated also in some kind of anthologies. So I could say that yes, I am. But the most important for me that I have a feeling that now I could say yes, I'm a writer. So it wasn't like this in the beginning.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
One more sphere that
Thank
you're
you.
good at. Yeah.
Mhm.
And what do you think? What role does art and maybe poetry as well, writing, plays in the society? How does it affect people?
I think that it's not for everyday life. Even I myself, I'm not ready to read some books every day or to read some very deep poetry every day because somehow mostly it's tragical. So I'm not sure that every day I'm ready to be open enough to like
to go that deep.
yeah, like to immerse myself into this. So this is something I can say for sure that I don't want to like be in this art mood every day because somehow it's traumatic.
Of course, it is because you go so deep into your own emotions. But do you think that artist or a writer is responsible for what they project to our people, to the world? Because it really influences people the way they think, the way they act. So are you responsible for the image you create?
Of course, and this is sometimes terrible because I know that people are expecting me to make some paintings and people are expecting to that somehow I'm giving some advices because I was in this situation they read in my books. So this is a big responsibility, and this is another part of life of an artist, because in one side you're just sitting in your studio doing some art, right? And so you're completely like locked up
in your bubble
and nothing more. Yeah. And other part is when people like they are so ready to speak with you about their problems because they read about your problems. But it's not working like this. It's not like I'm ready to speak with everybody about their problems, so I'm not ready to like hear what someone have in their lives, like what's going on and so on. So it could be also not only a responsibility, but also sometimes it's like a real burden.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
A lot of feedback, just a lot of feedback. Just like I cannot stand with this feedback, and actually it's a bit complicated when people could recognize you on the street and you're in a hurry and they want to say something to you, and it's rude to interrupt, to say I cannot, I don't want to listen to it, and it's rude to, I don't know, keep silence. So somehow you have to interact.
Yes, you
have to interact all the time, and it's exhausting.
Of course, yeah, it's a lot of your energy that goes into it. So I can imagine. But what about like if we talk about some social aspects? Like, do you touch that in your works? Like some problems of, I don't know, poverty, cultural diversity. And
never. Even when I was like traveling around the like most, I don't know, like miserable countries, like everybody said, like with a lot of poorness and poor people, I only could see people where they were smiling. So that's why I don't think that it has any sense. I'm not a political, and thanks God I'm not. I'm not responsible for this part. I think that everyone has his own fight, and this fight is much more important than what's going on around.
So art for you is more about expressing yourself and your feelings, and maybe showing beauty to the world, and not showing your point of view to some political social event.
Of course, I never touch this topic, and what I want to say, no, it's not about beauty. It's about my perception, and I could say that it's very individual. So what I think is the most important, that to be an artist, to be a writer, that everybody could have a look at what you're doing without knowing that you're the author, and said, "Oh, I know who is the author."
Yeah.
So I think this is the point, and of course there are a lot of abuse. For example, from my interview on the television, someone always could try, to take something out of context and said like, yeah, I am for this or that side, I could say this or that, but as an artist, my responsibility is just to stay away from any political topic.
Of course, but being a public person, of course, as you said, it affects you sometimes.
Yeah, it demands.
Yes, but you're trying to keep away. Yeah. And how do you define success as an artist? Do you call yourself a successful artist?
Well, I could call myself an artist first, and then I could call myself a successful artist, because only like with the numbers I could have like way less exhibition than I have. So yes, I was exhibited with a very, very talented artist, which are not alive anymore, which I don't know, I had some exhibitions with extremely popular artists. So, and my personal exhibition I had like in many different places. So I'm a successful artist, but the most important for me is just to, probably it would sound strange, but not to paint the same picture. Because when you know how to do something good, it's very complicated not to do it.
Yeah, it's very easy just to follow the same pattern.
Of course. For example, my paintings, they are like famous for the people without faces, so like any silhouettes, something like this. And all the time, like it's expected from me that I'm doing this. And the easiest way in every painting, if I don't know how to finish, every time I just have a feeling that, okay, if I would do this, this is some kind of my like trademark, everybody would say that it's my painting. So the most important for me is not to paint the same picture. Like every time I should just go deep down inside and try to express myself more and more and more. And somehow it's like same as giving birth. As everybody said, that creative process is about this. Yeah, it's too much pain, and then relief, and you're happy.
Yeah, That's a good comparison, yeah. But in a way, you would say in an artistic society, what are the signature features of the successful artist? So it's like exhibitions, a lot of exhibitions.
Yeah, a lot of exhibition in a. It's very important where do you have an exhibition. So it's not the same to have exhibition somewhere in the, like in the castle of the 12th century or in the state library somewhere in the village. So it's not the same amount of exhibition, and this is always like a balance for me, because for every, I could say every 12 or 15 exhibition, I say no, and only one I say yes. And of course,
being picky.
And of course, people are very offended all the time because they think that probably they are not so good. And so it's really very hard to choose, like what way you are going. I mean, at the beginning of my career, I was exhibiting almost everywhere, like in the cafes and like everywhere. So, and now I'm even not counting this in my portfolio. So,
I see. I see. What about the price of the paintings? Is that important? Is that a mark of your success?
Yes, I think so. Yes, yes, yes. I would say that. It's so complicated sometimes, because I see that people are going to buy something just because they have money and they think that my art is I don't know, like good investment, because the price are getting higher the more successful I am. And sometimes I'm just, I'm like I'm selling my babies, like I'm selling my soul. And then I said, okay, it doesn't matter. It will be in a good place anyway. And even if someone look at this not as a like artwork, but as something which is good to buy now because the price will be higher. Okay, but somehow I have some moral conversation with myself, and I have some kind of like small paintings, oil pastels, which I'm ready to sell for rather a good price, let me say not small price, but good ones, for the people who just really want to have something from me.
Yeah, you see, that's my next question. Like, how do you balance the need to be artistic, creative, to express yourself, with the fact that you also need to make a living as an artist? You need to make money with that.
Actually, I have never ever been a free artist in my life. Never. I have always had a job. When I had no money, I don't know, I'm like writing, translating, copywriting, and so on. I mean, this time, so like passed away, and as you know, I was running a gallery like for a couple of years and so on. So I was always doing something, and I just don't want my art to be responsible for my surviving, because in that case, who knows what I will sell, who knows what I will paint. Just if you know how to survive without this, I would say that it's always better for an artist to have some kind of like, I don't know, financial support from outside.
So another source of income. Otherwise, you will have to become more commercial than ever.
Yes, exactly. And this is something which I don't know, it's like sounds not so even good, like interior design pictures. So when you just paint something for the wallpapers, I don't know, for the furniture. So this is like a curse,
So you free yourself from that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I need to have discipline. This is very important, because everybody said that I'm very hardworking, and I could say that it's a lie. I'm very lazy. I'm very lazy. The most like of the time I would like just to lay down, but this is the best feeling when I did so much that I could now lay down, the rest of the day. So that's the point of being lazy, not like wake up and being lazy, but to do something, and then I feel free to be lazy.
Great. Well, I'm happy to hear that it's going well and you can be free in what you do. Well, what about when it comes down to you being a female artist? Is there a difference between a male and female artists? Like, do you feel that you have some extra challenges?
Yes, of course. The first extra challenge is very simple. This is a hard physical work. And every time if I have a big exhibition, so my canvases are like 2 meters, 3 meters, so I have to carry. And this is like always a problem for me. For example, in the relationship, like I could have someone just to help me all the time, because as a female artist, I cannot do so much physical work. So this is really, you always need to have some help from I don't know, like from other people to hand the picture.
I haven't thought about it actually. It's not the first thing that would come to my mind.
Everything what men could do, like I couldn't physically, I couldn't
Yes,
do.
exactly.
So I'm not so high and so on. And the second question, of course, it's like when you're a foreigner, especially a foreigner, and you're a girl and you're an artist, not so many people takes you serious.
Yes, that's what I want.
They will just say, oh, like she's an artist, which actually means that probably, I don't know, she's like drinking wine every evening, looking at the sunset. So it somehow gives an illusion that everybody could just play with me, you know, and this is not what I like. And if I could say, I don't know, I'm like a financial director, I'm whatever, trade manager, doctor, even better. This is different. And if I'm saying like, you know, I'm an artist, I was living there and now I'm living there and I was studied in third country and then I'm here, everybody would just think that I'm, you know, some kind of like easygoing person.
Maybe from a rich family with a rich parent.
Or probably I have a husband or I have a lover, which is very, very important. Like I know it's like the first that people would say that, oh, you have like a very
investor.
Like
you don't have to work.
Sugar daddy. Sugar daddy,
But that's not obviously.
No, that's not true. But this is so stupid that I just cannot make any comments. And of course, I cannot fight with the people about this. So if they have the impression about me, of course, like I couldn't say everybody. You know, like my first working place was when I was 15. It was like in a chemical, I don't know, like cleaning, washing, something like this. So I was like working with some chemicals. I was 15 and now I'm like 33. So it's like 17 years of me working, and mostly I'm working like 1, 2, 3 jobs at the same time. So, but this is not something you tell people from the beginning, like, hello, I'm Sofia, you know, I'm very hard working. I don't have any like
sponsors.
Yes, exactly. So that's the point. And and actually it gives opportunity, for example, someone to think that he could be my sponsor.
Yeah.
Like, you know, oh, you're an artist, probably, how do you like, it's so terrible to make your living with your art. Do you need a sponsor or something like this? So this is some kind of other side that I think it's not about being an artist, it's about being a woman. Unfortunately, it's more challenging.
Yes, we will get back to it in a moment. And what about like arranging exhibitions, talking to customers? I don't know, does it affect that you're a woman? Like, for example, Serbia is quite a patriarchal country, we know. Like, I have an example of a friend who was looking for an apartment to rent, and she sent a text message to a realtor on WhatsApp, and obviously you could see that she's a female in her picture. So there was no reply from him for like several days. And then her husband sent the same message to the same realtor. He replies right away. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had those situations?
Always. But I don't have a husband to check.
Yes.
So it's just about that, okay, what could I do with this? Yeah, it exists. It's not about Serbia. It's not about the Balkans. It's mostly about the world. I could really say that somehow, like for me, when someone like invited me for different exhibition all over the world, everybody just asking me like, will you come with your husband or with your parents? I was very surprised because like I was like, yeah, my parents surely will not go with me. They would be very surprised with this. So yeah, this is somehow happens. Unfortunately, it has nothing to do with art.
Yeah, and in the beginning of your career, was that a big issue? Like, did you have to fight harder, work harder?
Well, I could say that I had to work harder as a foreigner. That was the main, and then it's not such a big difference if you're a foreigner in Western countries. So you have to fight.
Yes.
I cannot compare. Was it like, would it be easier for me to be a man or a girl?
So it was hard overall, because you were a foreigner. Yeah, makes sense. And now let's get back to that aspect. Like, how does you being an artist or your art affect your personal life?
Well, in 2 different ways. Oh, let me say it's much more. The first, the first couple of people who think that, yeah, you're an artist, you're very easygoing, let's go, like, drink all night, have party all night, and something which I'm not doing for years,
like bohemian style,
yeah,
right?
like,
That's what people imagine when they
yeah, and I said, like, I cannot, I work tomorrow, I have, like, something, and everybody is very surprised, like, why, you're an artist, which basically means you should open the bottle of wine right away and just drink it in 1 minute. So this is some kind of people, a lot of people who are, they are actually have an opportunity to have some kind of this bohemian, as you said, life. And I'm not sure that I'm for this. Probably I have this kind of life, like, I don't know, like when I was first course. So when I was like 18, it was okay, first grade and so on. But now, no. And other thing is that there are some guys who really think that I'm like popular, I'm famous, I'm recognizable, and so on. And they think that actually I could be their sponsor, So like
their sugar mama.
No. It's always like this. Do you need some inspiration? Probably for inspiration, you need to have a good sex. You need to have a like and so and like. And I'm always confused. Like it's everything so bad with me that I should pay for the sex. Oh my god! Like what was going on? No. And so yeah, this is some kind of people who actually think that if I'm traveling, if I have exhibition, and if I have success, I have money, which is never the same.
Yeah.
Never. And yeah, so they're thinking that probably I need them for what? I don't need anything like this, and that's why it's very, very hard to find a equal, let me say, equal partner. And because even when I'm going out with some guys, I could hear something like, oh, you're a successful artist, you could pay for a coffee. Yeah, you could pay for our lunch. And it's like, oh my god, like what's going on? Like I even don't understand why it's like this, because if I'm with my like female friends, of course I'm so happy to invite someone. This is completely different, but with a guy it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, so they don't even say let's split the bill. They say, are those younger guys? Can I ask?
No,
they're expecting to be
my generation, approximately my generation. Actually, about the younger guys, I don't know, probably too young for me.
It's just my thing as well.
Yeah, exactly. No.
No, your age, but they still behave like that.
Yes,
wow,
exactly.
That's surprising, especially here in Serbia. Right. Although I have to say, I've already shared my experience from dating life in Serbia. That Serbian men are quite infantile, so maybe
of course
of that, mama's boys. In a way.
Of course. This is very common when someone said to you, oh, I had fight with my mother because I don't know, she didn't iron my short in the morning or so. And I just, like I have a brother which is 4 years older than me, so he's like 37 now, and he has 4 children, and he's such in good in all this housekeeping without like the word that he is provider in the family. So like even he could do it, like everybody could do it, and someone who is just living with his mom in, I don't know, 35, 38, like what's going on? And I don't believe that actually it's not easy to find a good job in Serbia, because we foreigners could do it, and our start is much lower, and actually what we have in the beginning is less than any Serb here. So I'm absolutely disagree when I said like, oh, I heard like someone saying Serbia is such a poor country, economy here is so bad, we have such a small salary. Even small salary is a good thing for like connection. If you agree to some job, sometimes you agree for something just to make some,
extra.
Yeah, but at the end to make a career, step by step. At the end, you cannot just, I don't know, stay at the same position for 10 years and said like in Serbia is so poor. Yeah,
I agree. It's no ambition.
Yeah.
And that's the guys I've met here as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to generalize.
Of course.
Some nice Serbian men, I'm sure. I'm sure somewhere. But what I've met, so yeah, for example, I'll give you an example. He was a bit younger than me as well, this guy, but 30, that's
30
like
is not
already good
25,
age.
yeah.
Yes, exactly. obviously living with the mom, but working in the same company. It's like a furniture store for I think like 7 years, same position, same company. And I tell him, I'm sorry, but if I worked in this company for 7 years, I would be the director already, at least. So yeah, I would say it's a lack of ambition as well. But and maybe that's why they're looking for a woman who is already like successful like yourself and
Yeah, but
yeah,
like,
to take care of them. But yeah, like, we're not gonna say that it's all men are like
no,
that.
of course, of course. I mean, of course, there are a lot of good marriages. I know a lot of friends of mine, they're married Serbian guys. So it's like not about this. It's absolutely nothing. It's also about the fact that I'm not, I don't have such a lot of time to go out to meet people. So for me, even like to go in the bar, I don't know, I get bored in 1 year.
Or you want to sleep. Like for me personally, I want to sleep.
We have the same problem because I think we discussed it. I wake up every day very, very early and the same. Yeah, exactly. And when someone said to me, let's meet at 9, for me it's like no.
It's a no rate.
Absolutely. I always like, for me, it's a matter of habit. I like to wake up early. I like when my day starts early. And actually,
great.
and I actually in the morning, I'm doing a lot of things.
Yes.
I'm going to the gym, I'm whatever. But somehow my day is full. And for me, it's like, okay, I could go in the bar about 9, 10 in the evening. And then what? To drink 1, 2 wine glasses or whatever. And what? Like, I haven't. Probably I'm too old for this.
I agree with you here. It was different, yeah, when we were 18 or 20. We
Yeah,
could stay up all night.
Да.
These days, your comfort is more important.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
And that's why that the question is like where to meet. But that's something we will discuss maybe one of my next podcasts, like dating life, how to meet, where to meet. I don't know, Tinder, dating. I mean, the best way, of course, is somebody introduces you, but that's not that often doesn't happen.
Well, this is a very strange thing which actually happened to me couple of times, that actually not all Serbian families are happy with Russian wives.
Really?
Yeah, of course. It's much better that your son marry a neighbor. So this is something which is yeah.
I'm surprised to hear that. That's something new.
And this is about the recommendation, like that your son, which you love your son so much, and then he is marrying a foreigner. So probably they could go abroad. This is terrible. This is the separation is a catastrophe.
Yes, and for them, family is super important.
Yes. That's why it's not the case. And actually, almost all my female friends who are here, they are married Serbs, and they are living with like in the same country. This is very important. So they are not going anywhere else. Even if someone is like meeting somewhere outside of Serbia or Russia, they're always coming in Serbia. Yeah, this is like a law.
Yeah, very strong family relations here, which is a good thing, definitely.
This is very, very good, but I cannot imagine me calling my mom every day and discussing with like literally everything what happened with me for for the last 8 hours.
No, definitely not for me.
Yes. So because I love my parents very much. They're great, but I don't have this kind of like urgent need to share everything. And in Serbia is not like this. You are sharing absolutely everything what happened in the morning, in the evening. You're calling your mom, your family, actually your sister is more important than your girlfriend, and so on. So this is something which you need to manage somehow.
Yeah, girl, consider that if you decide to marry a Serbian man. Yeah. And maybe to finish off, Sofia, I would like to ask you, what about your upcoming projects or maybe collaborations? Are you excited about anything you would like to share with us?
Oh yeah, I have a very, very good exhibition. Not only my exhibition, I'm just the curator in the old fortress, Kalemegdan. We are doing the exhibition dedicated to one dead poet, Nebojša Kula. It's the place. And we are doing with Greek artist exhibition which are dedicated to the Greek poet who was killed in this place. So yes, this is actually a very good collaboration. So we decided to make like half Greek, half Serbian artist, and I'm creating Serbian part. So we are doing some kind of, I don't know, It will be great.
Yeah, it sounds
That's for sure.
amazing. I
Yeah.
really want to visit it. When will it start?
I think we will do it in the day he was killed. It's in June. Exactly. We don't know the date, but yeah, it's in
Yeah.
June.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming, and I'm sure we will post the links to your Telegram channel or maybe to your Instagram, so the people who are interested in your art and in this exhibition, I'm for one definitely want to go, so they can join and have a look.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming, and everyone, please like this video and subscribe. See you next.
Bye.
Bye.